Greetings everyone, this is Mr. Mull, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get you started on this color coding circuits worksheet. You will need at least 4 different colored pens, pencils, markers, whatever you have. So these are the rules. What we noticed in the lab was that in order for a bulb to light up, there needed to be, and there was a voltage drop at that bulb. And so voltage is corresponding to the amount of energy, and so when the energy changed, there was a voltage drop, the bulb was able to light up. It turns out if there's not a voltage drop between two ends of a wire, that a light bulb will not light up. There needs to be a change in voltage which corresponds to a difference in energy. And so what we're going to do is we're going to model for you how we're going to look at these different circuits. So here's the rules for coding. The positive side of the battery is going to be the highest voltage, and I'm going to color this red, and you can use any color you'd like. The negative side of the battery is going to be the lowest voltage, and you're going to color it blue. And so I'm going to change my colors. And we're going to start with these here. For all of these, we're going to start with these. And then as we go through the wires are going to have the same color throughout. So we're just going to follow along the wire with that same color until we hit a light bulb. And when we hit a light bulb is a type of resistor, and it's going to cause the voltage drop like we saw in the lab. And so when we hit a light bulb and we have to go through that path, there's going to be a color change or a voltage drop. If I have a voltage drop or a color change, that means that my charge is going to flow, and we're going to have our bulb light up, and the circuit's going to continue. We're going to have our bulb light. And so what I want to do is I want to show you, I'm going to start with the negative side of the battery, and we're going to color that blue. And so I'm going to go ahead, this little thing here just represents the battery. I'm going to follow this wire until it hits an obstacle. In this case there's only one way for it to go, so I'm going to go here. Some of these you're going to have to actually go, just continue to follow that path and color that all blue until you hit something. I'm going to do the red, change my color to red. Do the same thing for the positive side of the terminal. And so what's going to happen is this positive is going to represent my high voltage. We have the most, and then as we hit obstacles, we lose a voltage and we have a voltage drop. So as I hit that bulb, I have a voltage drop. The other end of the battery represents the lowest possible voltage as I go through the circuit. So if I have that change, then our bulb is going to light up, and there's a color change. So this bulb lights. I'm going to do the second one with you. I have my red pen out. I'm going to start there and go all the way. Actually, we're going to go to our parallel here. So I'm going to go ahead and now I'm going to follow both paths, because there's two possible paths, until I get to obstacles that would cause my voltage to drop. We're going to assume that the wire has such a low voltage drop, we're going to basically call it zero. We're going to assume that no voltage is lost to the wire, only through a light bulb or some other resistor. So I'm going to do the same thing here. We're going to draw with blue. And so when I look at these two light bulbs, I'll notice that now there is a voltage drop or a color change between the two, which means that those light bulbs are both going to light up. Alright, I want to do one more for you, and that's going to be this top one here. We'll do that together. So we're going to do the same idea. The only difference is now we have more pieces to our circuit. So I have more light bulbs here. This is in a series. Once I get to this light bulb here, it's going to cause my voltage to drop, like we saw in the lab. And so that first light bulb is going to have a voltage drop. So I'm going to change the color now. We've lost some voltage. I'm going to just say now we have a normal voltage. I'm just going to choose yellow. So when I get to this point here, we have a voltage drop. So now I don't have quite as much voltage left. Now I'm lower on the slide. And then I hit another resistor, another light bulb, and my voltage is just going to drop even lower. So it's going to go from yellow to blue. And so what's going to happen is my light bulbs are going to light up. Because I have two of them, we saw that this wasn't quite as bright, but these are both going to light up. So there we go. Bulbs light. Now you're going to find, in the next problem, you're going to find a bulb doesn't necessarily have to light up. If there's no color change on either side of the bulb, then it's not going to light. So make sure when you get to the next question, as you draw this blue, that blue goes the entire path till it hits a resistor. So see if that helps. Alright, I hope this was helpful. This is going to be due tomorrow. Have a good night.